Good morning, afternoon. Must be Saturday. I tend to get up a little bit later on Saturdays. Hit my noon meeting while I'm still waking up. I'm waiting for this stuff to catch up. All right, cool. Hey everyone, I hope we're having a good day. It's Saturday, the 5th, December 5th. Today we're going to talk about the spiritual experience, and I have a few things to read on that. First, I wanted to talk a little bit. Surprise, surprise. About you. Okay, let's just get to 5, 6, and 7 years. 4, 5, 6, right in there. Okay, it's usually 4, 5, 6. It's about the 5th. We in AA tend to go through something. We almost every single one of us does. I'm muting myself so that you guys don't hear me. Well, the second me behind me. And we sometimes, we get to a place where we're feeling better, we're doing better, and then we start thinking too highly of ourselves. Let's just kind of get to what it is. And at this point, you're going to probably start making some decisions. Right? Usually the question is, do I need AA anymore? I hear a lot of people in meetings with 4, 5, 6 years saying, I wasn't sure I wanted to go to a meeting today. All right. That decision right there, that decision that you're making right there is going to separate you on your path in which way that you are going to go. Whether that's going to continue on or if you're going to go on your own little merry way. But it can be a very dangerous place to be because you're feeling all right. The problem is in that situation is the amount of willingness. You may have a lot of willingness, but your willingness is being taken over by open-mindedness, and you're not even willing to listen to other people. Hence, why you decided not to go to AA meetings anymore. So, and I watch it. Okay, I'm in that time right now. Okay, I'm coming up on 5 years. I made the mistake before, so I've already made my decision. I'm not leaving AA ever. I don't care how long I have. So, this could go pretty long. No, this is a short read. So I'm going to read the spiritual experience before I get to the daily reflection. And this is on page 567 in the big book. It's, obviously towards the back. So the term spiritual experience and spiritual awakening are used many times in this book. Upon careful reading shows that the personality change sufficient to bring about recovery from alcoholism has manifested itself among us in many different forms. So it's saying our recovery from alcoholism has taken on a lot of different views. Yet it is true that our first reading gave many readers the impression that these personality changes or religious experience must be in the nature of a sudden and spectacular upheaval. Happily for everyone, this conclusion is erroneous. In the first few chapters, a number of sudden revolutionary changes are described. Though it is not our intention to create such an impression, many alcoholics have nevertheless concluded that in order to recover, they must acquire an immediate and overwhelming God consciousness, followed at once by a vast change in feeling and outlook. Thank God it doesn't happen that way. So, let's just keep going. Among our rapidly growing membership of thousands of alcoholics, such transformations, though frequent, are by no means the rule. I've met plenty of people that had sudden experiences. Okay. It really depends on who you are. Okay. I have found that most of the people that have had those had some kind of religious upbringing. Some. Most of our experiences are what the psychologist William James calls the educational variety, because they develop slowly over a period of time. Quite often, friends of the newcomer are aware of the difference long before he is himself. Yeah, we're going to be the last person to see changes in ourselves. That's why it is important that we have a sponsor and have people around us in our fellowship to let us know that we are growing, that they see changes in us. Good afternoon, Jill. It's good to see you, honey. He finally realizes that he has undergone a profound alteration in his reaction to life, that such a change could hardly have been brought about by himself alone. What often takes place in a few months could seldom have been accomplished by years of self-discipline. With few exceptions, our members find that they have tapped an unsuspecting inner resource which they are presently identify with their own concept of a power greater than themselves. Smoker's cough. Sorry, guys. Most of us think this awareness of a power greater than ourselves is the essential spiritual experience. Our more religious members call it God consciousness. Most emphatically, we wish to say that any alcoholic capable of honestly facing his problems in the light of our experience can recover, provided he does not close his mind to all spiritual concepts. He can only be defeated by an attitude of intolerance or belligerent denial. We find that no one need have difficulty with the spirituality of the program. Willingness, honesty, and open-mindedness are the essentials to recovery, but these are indispensable. And then here comes my favorite part. There is a principle which is bar against all information, which is proof against all arguments, and which cannot fail to keep a man in everlasting ignorance. That principle is contempt prior to investigation. It's part of what I was talking about in the beginning when we hit that 4, 5, 6 area. Okay. We stopped doing our contempt prior to investigation stuff. So let's get to the reflection. It's on the spiritual experience. So he has been granted a gift which amounts to a new state of consciousness and being, which is what we were just talking about in the spiritual experience. Yesterday I had read step 12 also. So I'm just going to go to the next part because it seems to fit right into what we're talking about. So practicing these steps, we had a spiritual awakening about which finally there was no question. No more questions. You know your path. You know what you need to do now. Looking at those who were only beginning and still doubted themselves, the rest of us were able to see the change setting in. From great numbers of experience, we could predict that a doubter who still claimed that he hadn't gotten the spiritual angle, who is still considered his well-loved AA group, the higher power, would presently love God and call him by name. Okay, that means we're going to get out of utilizing the group. I'd also like to say that if you see newcomers come in and they've been there for a couple of days, show them a little bit of respect, man. Hey, good on you, man. You've been showing up. That's hard to do. And maybe give them a compliment. Don't give a false compliment. Never give those. Never, ever hand out a false compliment. I hate it when people do that to me. It drives me up the wall. Let's be honest with me. Right? Even the newest. Now about the rest of the 12th. Now what about the rest of the 12th step? It's a question. The wonderful energy it releases and the eager action by which it carries our message to the next suffering alcoholic, which finally translates the 12 steps into action upon all of our failures, is the payoff. It's another promise. The magnificent reality of Alcoholics Anonymous. Here's your payoff, man. Giving back. Even the newest of newcomers finds undreamed rewards as he tries to help his brother alcoholic, the one who is even blinder than he. Even if you have a week, you can help somebody else. Maybe you're walking in the room for the first time. You're helping other people. Believe it or not. I'm not going to go into why right now. This is indeed the kind of giving that actually demands nothing. He does not expect his brother sufferer to pay him or even to love him. I do that with all my guys. Hey, we don't know each other yet, right? No, we can't. Can you please explain contempt prior to investigation? Jill, I can, but let's save it for Monday. I hear what you're saying, but I can talk for 15 minutes on that. So let's make that remind me on Monday to do that, Jill, pretty please. Very good idea. I would love to do that. And he discovers that in the divine paradox of this kind of giving, he has found his own reward, whether his brother has yet received anything or not. His own character may still be gravely defective, but somehow he knows that God has enabled him to make a mighty beginning. And he senses that he stands on the edge of new mysteries, joys, and experiences of which he had never dreamed. And we're talking about newcomers. Okay. So what is that? What is that that we're feeling? Okay. It's unconditional love. Right? Loving me for exactly who I am without any, there are some relationships, like with the man that raised me, that relationship is based on conditions. And I just won't do that anymore. I'm not willing to make conditions based on a relationship because it never works. It never works out. If you can't love for somebody for exactly who they are, even while they're sick, then maybe we need to take a little bit longer on working on ourselves, so that we can understand that exactly, Jill, without any expectations. What they were just talking about. So, and I'm going to use opening the door for somebody. Okay. If you go and open a door for somebody and they don't thank you and you get angry, your intentions were wrong. You had an expectation, and then that person did not fulfill that expectation, and you set yourself up to be mad. Probably because this morning you said, "Hey, God, if I get mad today, please help me." Don't ever do that. Why would you intentionally say, "I'm going to be mad today, God"? Okay. Don't pray for that, because you know what's going to happen? People are going to piss you off all day long. Why? Because that's what you wanted. Right? It is about setting ourselves up to succeed. God, just help me be the best person I can today. You don't need to do anything else. He understands. You think he doesn't know what's going on in that silly little brain of yours? You can't hide from God. Many of us in AA puzzle over what a spiritual awakening is. I tended to look for a miracle, something drastic and earth-shattering. Nope. I'm a reactive person. Okay. Well, I was a reactive person. I'm not so much anymore. So if that spiritual experience was sudden when I was early in recovery, God gives me a burning bush, I would have thrown water on it because I didn't know what to do with it yet. Okay. That's why sometimes it takes time. Maybe you're just not ready yet. I was talking with my friend Chris yesterday, and we were talking about how when we first started this a year ago, God was saying no. Okay. Then it turned into not yet. And now he's saying yes, and we're clamoring. Now we're like, no, not yet. Okay. And that's funny. We got to laugh at that. Okay. You want to make God laugh? Tell him your plans. Right, Mom? My mom taught me that one. But what usually happens is the sense of well-being and feeling of peace transforms us into a new level of awareness. That's what happened to me. It said that in the book, not me. It did happen to me too, though. My insanity and inner turmoil disappeared. I love it. That one hits me. because I deal with a lot of other stuff, and that turmoil, it just disappeared, and it made it easier for me to work on my other things. So thank you, God. And I entered in a new dimension of hope. This would be being rocketed into the fourth dimension of existence that Bill W. talks about. And I entered into a new dimension of hope, love, and peace. I think the degree to which I continue to experience this new dimension is in direct proportion to the sincerity, depth, and devotion with which I practice the 12 steps of AA. Now, remember in the beginning what I was talking about. Okay. I continue to experience this new dimension in a direct proportion to the sincerity, depth, and devotion which I practice the 12 steps of AA. So, here's the thing. I don't want to go to a meeting today. I don't feel like I really need it. If you are 4 or 5 years, 4, 5, 6 years into the program and you're going to meetings for yourself and not the newcomer, you need to go back and take a look at what you're doing. Okay? Do I go to meetings for myself? Nope. I go to meetings for the fellowship to help newcomers, because helping newcomers keeps me sober. No matter what, whether they make it or not, it keeps me sober, and it works. Right? But sometimes, oh, I don't need it anymore. Nah. I'm well. All right. And tell you something. Life's going to kick the shit out of you. You live that type of life. Okay. You may not go back out and drink, but I'm going to pray for you because you're going to be awfully miserable. Right. So let's check our intentions. What are your intentions today? I just want to help other people. That's it. That's my only intention. I may get some other stuff done around here. It's the weekend. I'm cleaning other things. But if my phone rings, somebody needs something, that's what I'm going to do. Right? Here's the other thing. I was talking to a new guy the other day. All right. Yeah, I'm a little confused. Okay. I'm having some, yeah. He was offered a job that he can absolutely do. No problem. No problem at all. But his mind is saying, no, you can't do that. You're not capable of actually doing that. And he's newer. All right. So we gave him some support. And I said, you're looking at this the wrong way. All right. His fear was he was going to have extra money and cash in hand. We all know what that means, right? So we talked about accountability. I'm like, then be accountable with your mom. Hey, mom, I just got this new job. I got offered this job. It's going to give me this much money. Give it to your mom when you're done. It's going to make you feel 2 years old. That's okay. I had to do it too. Then I want you to remember that every time God hands you a gift, don't you blow him off. That was a gift from God saying, you're doing well. Here's some extra stuff. And he said, I never even thought of it that way. Right? That's why. Right? And actually, right there, that was a contemporary to investigation. Okay, but we'll get really into it on Monday. You guys, we had some great podcasts this last week. We really did some deep, good stuff. Hop on there, give a listen. Jill, thank you for everything. I love you, honey. You guys have a great day. Peace out. I'll see you Monday. Go Broncos. At least we'll have a quarterback this week. Love you guys. Have a day. Bye.